Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Golden Reviewer gaming test. Here I have two Galaxy S21 Ultra. On the left, the silver one is with Exynos 2100, and on the right, the black one is with Snapdragon 888. Today we are going to run PUBG mobile game on them at the same time side by side, so that if you play PUBG mobile a lot, you know which device is your best bet. Both are set to airplane mode, connected to the same Wi-Fi network, set to manual brightness at about 30%, and we start out with 100% full battery. So at the end of the test, we'll see how much battery they use for about a 30 minutes gaming session. Now let's check the graphics settings. So now I have this black Snapdragon 888 S21 Ultra, and you can see that the extreme FPS setting, which means 60 FPS, is available on all graphics qualities, from smooth to HDR. I can choose 60 FPS no matter what quality I choose. However, this is not the case for the Exynos variant. On Exynos, if you want to play the game at 60 FPS, you have to choose smooth graphics settings. Otherwise, they're limited to 40 FPS. I know that in the past we could change this with GFX tool available on Play Store. However, that tool is not working for these S21 devices. I think it's because of the Android 11 system. So as of now, if I don't root my devices, there is no easy way for me to unlock other graphics settings or higher FPS. And I don't want to root these devices. So I'll go with the same graphics settings, which is smooth and extreme, 60 FPS, plus AA, which I think will be the choice for most people. And I'll play the game on the Snapdragon device first and observe on the Exynos device. I'll do this for about 15 minutes, after which I'll switch side. I'll play another game on the Exynos device and spectate on the Snapdragon device. And then I'll play for another 15 minutes. So in total, it will be around half an hour of gaming session. And each device will be playing for half of the time and spectate for half of the time. So the load should be exactly the same. And I'll enable the sound on the device that I am playing with and mute the other one. Now let's start the game. I'll put the real-time FPS meter on the right, just like I always do. But to be honest, there isn't much to see from this test because both devices are able to maintain 60 FPS throughout. It's a very stable and good performance. There's no frame drops whatsoever. But still, I'll show about 5 minutes of unedited normal speed footage, and after that I'll speed up the recording so to save you some time. But of course, if you don't want to watch any of this, you can fast forward to the end of the video where I will show you the results for the average FPS and the battery consumption.
Let's go!
Okay, now I've played the game for 15 minutes on the Snapdragon device. Now I'll switch to Exynos device and start the new game and play for another 15 minutes. Okay, now I've played the second round for another 15 minutes and in total we played the game for about half an hour. First sign is very good for the Exynos. Both devices use 8% of battery, from 100% to 92%. That means the Exynos 2100 should be somewhere around the same level as the Snapdragon 888 in terms of power efficiency. Now let's check the FPS record. We see that both devices are able to run the game at 60 FPS throughout the 30 minutes gaming session. There is no significant frame drops on either of the device. And I can say that the gaming experience is very enjoyable. Very good performance for both. Some may say that PUBG Mobile as Smooth Extreme is not very demanding. But if you remember last year, the Exynos 990 wasn't able to run this game at 60 FPS. So we have to give credit where it's due. Samsung has indeed made great improvement for its Exynos product line. Then let's move on to power consumption. Just now we've already seen both devices use 8% of battery. So we should be able to expect that their power consumption should be around. And indeed, the average power of the Snapdragon 888 is around 2.88 watt, while the Exynos is about 3.02 watt. The gap is actually very small at only 5%, which is even not reflected in the battery percentage. It's not even 1% of battery for half an hour. So we see that if you really crunch the numbers, yes, the Snapdragon 888 is still ever so slightly more efficient. But I think the difference is almost negligible. Some of you might watch my previous video, which is comparing the Xiaomi Mi 11 to the S21 Ultra Exynos. And in that test, the S21 Exynos actually is more efficient than the Xiaomi Mi 11. And I think that problem is not with the Snapdragon 888, but rather with the other components, for example, the display, or the speaker, or the Wi-Fi, or the radio, something like that. So maybe Xiaomi couldn't make all other components as efficient as Samsung's. That's why the overall power consumption was higher on that. And in this comparison, where everything except the SoC is the same, we see that the Snapdragon 888 is still a little bit more efficient. Alright, lastly, I'll show you the all the results together. And that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the video. And please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't to. And share it to your friends. And give me a like. See you next time.